What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Stay Fresh production. Today, I got a fun little list for you here. This idea for this list was actually brought up to me by Kristen from Beauty Meow. She doesn't know that she inspired me to do this, but I thought it was really cool. She made a list of fragrances that just make her feel happy. And I feel like that's a very simple concept, but it's kind of deep because, as fragrance enthusiasts and collectors, we go through a lot of them over the years, and I find that the ones that kind of stick, the ones that stay in our collection that we don't sell or swap or gift, those are the ones that really do something for us, that really make us happy. So I decided to go back to my collection and see which fragrances really make me feel happy no matter what, the ones I always have, the ones that I always go to, and they always make me feel good. Well, I compiled a list of 10 here. Most of them are designer, and that is because there's some prerequisites for this list. Number one, these fragrances lift my mood, or they just simply make me smile when I smell them. You'll probably see a lot of that here on camera. Or they bring back memories, a lot of the memories of kind of the beginnings of my fragrance journey. Hence why, again, a lot of these are designers, because I started with designer fragrances, as many of us do. And again, fragrances I never get tired of smelling, no matter how long it's been. So most of these, in fact, all of these I have been smelling and enjoying for at least a year. Not all of them I've had full bottles for a whole year, but I've had them in some form, either a decant or a sample or bottle, for at least a year's time. So I've really gotten to know them, really grown to love them, and I'm going to share them with you now. This is in no particular order. I can't pick one over the other per se. I just know that all these fragrances here will most likely always be a part of my collection. So we'll just start with this bad boy here. No stranger to the community, no stranger to this channel. I love this stuff openly. I'm never afraid to talk about it. And this is Creed's Ventus. Again, makes me smile. Never get tired of smelling it or wearing it. Enough has been said about it. That's all I gotta say, Creed Ventus. This other one, this is the first designer fragrance I ever actually bought in stores. I was out at a Macy's, I smelled it, and I had to have it, which was kind of a mistake because I could have got it much cheaper online, but I didn't know at the time. And this is L'Homme from Yves Saint Laurent. This brings back memories of the beginnings of a couple years ago when I was just starting out. I smelled this stuff. I thought it smelled so elegant and luxurious and gentlemanly, and I had to have it, and I've loved it ever since. It is a classic. It is a staple. Every man should have this fragrance. In my opinion, I don't think anyone dislikes this. It might just be okay to some, or it might be amazing to some, and to me it's amazing, but I don't think anybody's gonna really be like, oh, that smells terrible, or it smells bad. I love this stuff. That's Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme. Up next, it's cool twin brother here, or cousin, or whatever you want to call it. La Nuit de L'Homme. This, that L'Homme DNA is in there, but it is made darker with some spices from that cardamom note. Still retains a freshness with the lavender and the bergamot, and it's sweeter and it's kind of cakey. That's how I like to describe it. Beautiful, beautiful scent. Really kind of set a lot of trends in the fragrance industry when this came out. I believe maybe 2009. Forget all the hate, forget all the batch talk, all that stuff. I love this stuff, La Nuit de L'Homme. This is a new bottle to my collection, but I've been smelling it in sample form for a little while, for again, at least a year now. And honestly, at first I liked it, but I didn't like it enough to go get a bottle. I smelled it a few times. I'm like, man, this stuff is good. It's really good. People are saying it's really good, but I don't know if I need it just yet. We'll see. But I kept coming back to it. Before I knew it, this year actually, I went through all the samples I had, and I'm like, man, I'm all out of this stuff now. That must be for a good reason. Picked up a bottle, haven't looked back. This is Tom Ford Noir Extreme. Beautiful scent for upscale occasions, for a night out. Gorgeous, sweet, kind of dessert, gourmand-like scent. Has a little bit of spices to it, kind of this vanilla sweetness underlying it. Has that coffee note, which is kind of like an ice cream, almost like an Indian dessert ice cream. So delicious, just delicious to smell. I love it. That's Tom Ford Noir Extreme. And this next one up here, this is again no stranger to the community. And this is going to be Bleu de Chanel. This is the eau de parfum. And just stuff, again, this is a new bottle to my collection. I owned the EDT actually when I was looking to do research to figure out should I get the EDT or the EDP. This was a while ago, a couple years ago. I was like, I went to the store, I smelled both. I liked the EDP more, but as kind of a novice to it all, I kind of fell with the hype and with the persuasion of others who were saying, no, EDT's better, it's more versatile. So in that moment, instead of going with my gut and getting this, I got the EDT, which I literally wore maybe 4 times over the course of like a year and a half. Because I liked it, but it was okay. I always liked this more. It was richer, fuller, more elegant, not so sharp. It just stuck with my personality a little bit more. So I ended up selling off the EDT not that long ago and picked this up, and I'm so glad I did. Because I've always loved it, but now I'm learning to trust my instincts. So that's Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Here, this one I've had for a little over a year, and this is a gift courtesy of my friend A2, who also gifted me with Aventus. Thank you, man. Again, appreciate you jump-starting my fragrance journey with your humble and gracious gifts. And here's one of them. This is Creed's Velvet Geranium. This is definitely one of my favorite Creed fragrances by far. Clean and elegant, bright, uplifting. Again, I'm not going to say anything about this. I have a review. You can check it out if you want to know more about what it smells like, how it performs, what it's used for best. I love this fragrance. So glad I have it. That's Creed's Velvet Geranium. This next one is a fragrance that's coming from a house that we're going to see again on this list. And this is one of my favorite houses from the designer realm. In my opinion, they release designer fragrances with niche quality and almost niche uniqueness as well. But still mass appealing, still easy to wear. We're just talking about the house of John Varvatos. If you didn't know, this is John Varvatos Artisan Aqua. I have a review on this. I will leave it up top if you want to check it out. This gorgeous men's musky aquatic has a green nature to it. Has some depth to it. Has some, I believe, fir resin in there, which adds this dark greenness to it. It's kind of musky. It's a little bit soapy, a little bit aquatic, kind of fruity. I think there's even some grapefruit in here, some pomelo grapefruit. This stuff is beautiful, gorgeous to wear, inexpensive to get a bottle. In my opinion, one of the undeniably pleasant fragrances out there. That's an echelon that I really regard highly. Undeniably pleasant, but in this case, still has some integrity to it. Rodrigo Flores Rue. I'm probably saying his name wrong. I apologize. He is the perfumer for all of the John Varvatos fragrances. This is one of his creations, and I really dig it. That's Artisan Aqua. You guys know I love this one if you've been watching my channel. Sweet elegance. This is Parfums de Marly Herod. I got this bottle in the early part of 2017, but I had been smelling it in sample form even before that, and I've always gravitated towards it. So far, one of my favorite fragrances from the house of Parfums de Marly. I reviewed it a while back. Honestly, it was so long ago, and I'm not terribly proud of that review, but if you want to check it out, I'll link it up top. You can check it out. It is a sincere and honest review. I will give you that. But this is a gorgeous scent if you haven't checked it out. Beautiful, sweet vanilla tobacco, cinnamon, dark, opulent, elegant. That's all I'm going to say. That's Herod from Parfums de Marly. We just got 2 more here. This is another gentleman's classic, especially for the springtime when you're dressed nicely in a suit, when you're looking clean and you want to smell clean. This is what you go for. This is Prada's L'Homme. A 2016 release. Since they've updated a few times, they came out with the L'Homme Intense and I believe L'Homme Low which I think both came out last year. But the OG, this is my favorite one. Iris has this amber sweetness to it, but it's light. It's kind of floral fresh, a little bit sweet, really gorgeous scent. Prada L'Homme. This is a good one if you guys don't know it. And finally, this is one of my first loves. I'll never forget. Again, around the beginnings of my journey, I was in a Sephora checking out some fragrances, and this was actually before I even smelled any from this house. We're talking about John Varvatos again. This was the first one I ever smelled from them. And I had heard about it actually from Steven from Red Adolescence. He mentioned it in a video. He said how beautiful it was, how gentlemanly, how masculine it was. And I'm like, okay, so I went to Sephora and I saw it sitting there and I'm like, I don't know, I almost wrote it off. I'm like, let me actually check it out. I smelled it and I was like, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. I need this in my life. My girlfriend was kind enough not long after that to actually give me a bottle. So I'm so happy I have this, and I'll always have this. This is John Varvatos Vintage. This, I gotta turn around for this one. That's for Jeremy. Slow Spin. This stuff, so gentlemanly. I should review it because I don't think there's many reviews on this one. If you want me to review this fragrance, to really talk about it in depth, because I've mentioned it so many times on my channel without giving it proper isolated attention. If you want to see a review, let me know. If I get a fairly overwhelming response, then I will do a review. Because a lot of you guys do ask me about this one. A lot of you guys told me you bought it from my recommendation and that you love it, which makes me happy to hear. So I'm happy to talk about it more. If you'd like to hear it, let me know. And that does it for my list here. Now, these are not the only fragrances in my collection that bring me joy and happiness. These are the ones that have been with me in my journey for the longest, that make me the happiest. And there's plenty more that I could have included that, again, really make me feel good, but these are the OGs here. We've been riding along together for a little while. So thank you guys so much for watching. I got a really exciting video coming up next week, so make sure you stay tuned. Peace. I'll see you guys in the next one.